Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses. I'm wearing an orange t-shirt with my logo on it. Pretty cool, right? And I'm sitting in my office with a few colored lights behind me. And in this video, we're going to have a look at this cool app that I found that you can use with your Tesla. Now, it's not cheap, fair enough, but it is pretty darn full-featured. And this app is called the Stats app. So let's jump in and have a look at it right away. So this is the first screen that you see in the Stats app, and as you can see there, it shows that my car is plugged in, it is charging. I can tap on that green button sort of towards the center and I can stop the charging at any point that I want. It shows my estimated range at the moment and the rated range, so how full it is. It then shows time left until it finishes charging, the charge rate, speed, all that kind of stuff. It shows the tire pressure, and then it shows where the nearest superchargers are to me when I'm charging. So that's this first main screen, and you can actually tap on the little paintbrush to check the color of your car. You can set the charge rate and all that kind of stuff. The next window along is your other data. It's lots and lots of data in this app. So we've got here added range, and you can see where I've added range. If I tap the little eye there, it shows it to delete a record, tap to change the cost of charging session, so on. So this keeps track. You can see I actually just recently got back from my drive to Sydney. That video probably isn't up yet, but it'll be up in a week or two. And you can see there on the 22nd, added lots of range. On the on the 23rd, not so much, because I was charging at the Airbnb where I was staying. And then on the 24th, lots of range. And you see the little share icon, so you can export this data so you can keep track of it in spreadsheets and all that kind of jazz. Then you get a breakdown of how much for supercharging, other and home. You can see your driving efficiency per 100 kilometers or just overall. And I think, yeah, the orange is the actual and the blue is the trend. You can also see effective outside temperature and all this kind of stuff. I mean, there's tons of it. If you're a data nerd, this is very cool. Again, you can also export that. You can also see your kilometers drained. So that's, when you were driving, and you can see daily, 7 days, 30 days. Export that. You can see your charge date. So, what those happen on those particular dates. We can see the battery health. And if we click on the little question mark, battery health graph shows the trend of full battery rated range versus odometer value. And you can see there sort of how you compare. Now this one I quite like, is that you can see your max range versus others. So this sort of compares you to other vehicles in the same class. And you can see across all Teslas compared to Model 3s, Model Y, so on, or just, same car as you. We've got full battery capacity. So there it's saying that my full battery capacity is 62 kilowatts. And then we can see our phantom drain. We can see the rate, we see weekly, monthly, range, all that good stuff. And then tap on bar to see the location of phantom drain. Oh, interesting. So I can see where the phantom drain happens. That's pretty cool. You can see weekly where it happens, so I can see where the phantom drain happened when I was plugged in. So there we go. There you can see that the phantom drain happened. Huh, interesting. Oh, that's when I was at a conference or something. Yes, that's the conference that I was at. Okay, so that makes sense. Cool, so that's all the phantom drain stuff. And then we can also see histogram of efficiency across users. So again, we can see across all Tesla cars, compare it to Model S's, Model X's, 3s, and Ys. So you can see my efficiency is 99% better than 77% of users. Of course, that's all users of this app. It's not all Teslas overall. History of phantom drain. You can see what firmware and what versions of FSD are sitting across different vehicles. This one, I mean, the FSD, none of us outside the US have got it, so but yeah. And that is one thing about this app. There are some things here that seem quite US or North American focused more. Again, you see FSD stuff, so that's fine. Then we have your basic controls. So this is the sort of same controls that you have inside of the Tesla app. So again, we can open and close the charge port, trunk, frunk, honk, defrost, dog mode, all doors are closed, shows you the location, all that good stuff. Inside temperature, outside temperature, you can turn the aircon on, you can turn the aircon off. And actually I might leave it on for a bit because it's a bit warm outside. You can also see if you have a Powerwall, this will get your Powerwall information. It won't give you, I think it doesn't give you any, no, it does give you a bit of information. This also looks at your solar. So the Powerwall is, my solar is plugged in through the Powerwall gateway. So that's how this sees this information. You then have, maps, and this shows you all of your driving information. So you can see, some of the drives that I did to Sydney and back. The thing with this though is, and this is something that I'm not a huge fan of this. Now, if you tap on the bottom right-hand corner there, you can export the data. The way that this works is it works off the GPS of your phone. So if your phone's not in the car, it's not registering. Now, I might be wrong, so if the developer's watching this and I'm wrong, please correct me. But as I understand it, this didn't work. I had to set this up to use the GPS of my phone. So for example, if someone else is driving your car and your phone's not in the car, then that journey won't register. So, it's good, but it's not as accurate as getting that information directly from the car. Now, going into the settings section here, this is where you can find some really cool stuff. So for example, FAQ, support, blah, blah. But let's have a look at what's new. So some of these new functions are really, really cool. So one of the first functions they've got here is you can configure corner center. What did I just do? Corner center to show state of charge instead of range. To do this, so there's a lot of stuff that you can add to the watch as well. So there's a new there's a watch app. There's loads of widgets. So if you use widgets on iOS, that's pretty cool. Now this function is one that I really like, and I've tested a couple of times, and it worked. It probably worked 4 out of the 5 times I tested it. So how this works is it can use the proximity of your watch to the car, and it can open up the trunk, or if you've got an automatic front, it can open up the front as you approach the vehicle. Now, how it works, unfortunately, is that it's not just you have it on all the time, which I suppose makes it, and this is the challenge with software, is you've always got to kind of decide, well, if I do this, these are the potential issues that could happen. If I do it that way, those are the potential issues that could happen. So I understand why the developer does it this way, but basically how it works is you've got to have the complication on your watch. So you see there up in the corner, you add that complication, and then as you're going to walk to your car, so let's say, for example, you're leaving the shops and you've got bags in your hands, you tap that icon before you start walking to your car, and for the next 5 minutes, as your watch gets within proximity of the car, the trunk will open up. So it is something that you have to activate. So if you've forgotten to activate it before you walk towards your car, ain't nothing going to happen. And it only lasts at 5 minutes. But for me, that's actually okay, because I understand that if you had it on all the time, if you're just walking out to pick up the post from the post box, the boot would open of your car, which is kind of frustrating. So I get why there's that, not limitation, but yeah, why it doesn't just work, why it's not on all the time. But that's a very, very cool feature in the Watch app. And you can see there as well that you can set up loads of information. You can have, your whole watch just showing, Tesla information for your car. And you can also set up your watch as a key for the car. And that's, there's quite a few apps that I've set up like that in the past. But you can see there that you can lock, start, use the digital crown to scroll up any watch face to see information about your car. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know about that one. The firmware histogram can be sorted based on FSD. So if you've got FSD or you're curious, you can have that stuff in your car. A nice thing with this is that you can check the status of your car and it won't wake your car up. That's a feature that I really like. And the app connects. So yeah, you can see here all this different information in the What's New section. But there's also some pretty cool tutorial videos, which is very useful. You've got these smart features. So for example, you can have smart heating and cooling. And basically what most of these smart features are is that you can set a schedule. So if you know that you want your climate control to come on or off at any particular time, you can set it all up in here, and you can have it exclusively to this once only, turn it on for only if the car is plugged in, all sorts of stuff like that. So that's climate, smart battery prep. So again, you can set the car to get to a certain charge level on a particular day or after 2 hours, decrease the charge limit back to this. I'm not sure how it does that, but okay, maybe it turns on the aircon or something. Actually, that'd be interesting how it does that. Smart Sentry, so you can enable Smart Sentry mode. What Smart Sentry does mean, when enabled, this mode enables the Sentry mode automatically unless you park car in location that you have designated. But I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to work anyway, so I'm not sure how that's different. If you know in the comments, let me know how that's different from how Sentry mode works normally, because as I understand it, it switches itself on when you walk away and the car locks unless you've told it in that location not to switch on, so not sure what that does. Smart Charging. Yeah, so again, you can stop charging at this time. Smart Venting, so enable this feature. So the temperature for venting, so if it gets to a particular temperature, then venting will turn on. If it gets below a particular temperature, the venting will turn off. And what venting is that the car will open all 4 windows like a little crack just to let some fresh air in. So that's pretty cool. You've also got tools, so you've got Siri shortcuts. Now, if you want to see stuff about Siri shortcuts, I did a video about that before. I'll link it up in the corner. So you've got Siri shortcuts, but a lot of these Siri shortcuts, oh no, I wasn't talking to you. Don't you activate Mrs. Siri. So the Siri shortcuts, this was before that update came out like a month or 2 ago. So yeah, you've got a 0 to 60 measurement, which in Australia would be 0 to 100. And how this works is basically you put the phone down in the car, you push start, and I'm assuming it uses the accelerometer of the phone to try and measure your time from 0 to 60 or 0 to 100. Yeah, there we go. Unmute the sound on the phone. Interesting. Tap start, tap on the accelerator when you're ready. Timer starts after car starts moving and you hear start. Okay, so it says started. Tap on the stop after reaching the top speed. So you have to stop it. I'm not sure how safe that is. Well, look, you can do it. I think there's safer ways to do that. Just a bit of feedback for the thing. View dash cam videos. Now this is very cool. So what this does, and my videos just stopped record. Oh God. No, okay, so that's, okay, so just FYI, so I'm recording this video on my computer, and I just saw that when I went to landscape mode, the recording decided it wasn't particularly happy, so I'm just going to start that recording up again. So how this works is you can, and particularly now that iPhones from the iPhone 15 use USB-C, otherwise you'd have to use an adapter or something, so you can connect the storage device, so the little hard drive, little SSD that you've got in your glove compartment that you use to capture all your dash footage, you can plug that in and you can actually browse all that footage through here. You can see them all at the same time. It's a very, very cool interface. So that is the dash cam stuff. The dash cam stuff is really handy, I think. Now you've also got this thing called driving pose, and what it does is you take a photo of yourself in that pose, and then you can compare yourself to whether you're sitting with good posture and so on. I'm not sure how scientific it is, but it's a nice little feature. Questionnaire, ask questions from the Tesla manual, so that's pretty cool. You can do energy costs. So again, this is, you've got to sort of know how much your power costs and plugs in and petrol and all that kind of stuff, but you can set this up and it'll try and guesstimate you know, how much the cost is of the energy that you're putting into your car. You've got notifications built in, there's forums, there's how to send an address to a car. I've done that in previous videos. If you don't know, you go into maps, get a location, and then you tap on the little share icon, and then one of the options is to send to the Tesla, and you send it to Tesla, and you can share addresses to the car. Very cool, very easy. That's built into the Tesla. It's got nothing to do with this app. You can change the app icon, which is pretty nice. You've got quite a few little options there. You've got different themes for the app. I like the fact that they've got convert miles per gallon to liters. So for those of us who are in the metric system, which is, you know, most of the world, they've catered for us, which is nice. Now, the one thing about this app is it's not cheap. And I know I've often made this joke to my clients where I go, well, cheap is a relative term, and so is expensive is a relative term. You know, what's expensive to one person may not be expensive to another person, but what people's perception of what they should pay for, you know, phone apps this is more. So let's have a look at what subscription options we've got. Now, keep in mind, this is in Australian dollars, so I'm guessing US dollars would be less, but here we go. So you can try the app for free for 7 days. Now, I will say I reached out to the developer of this app because I saw it and I thought this is a really cool app. And they did give me a 30-day code to use it for free. So thank you very much to them for that. So you can, I think you get 7 days, 7-day free trial, and then you can subscribe for $7.49 per month. You can do an annual subscription for $76.99, or you can just buy the app outright and then not worry about subscriptions or anything for $1.70, $1, I wish, 180 bucks basically. Now, do I think it's worth it? I do, but that's my perception, that's my opinion. For all of the features, in fact, just the proximity thing alone, and then all the other stuff. In fact, wait, before I get into that, let me show you how all the widgets look. So down here, you can see there is the sort of sync. Actually, let me go into this. Let me edit this widget thing, and you can see how the widgets look. So if I just go into my widgets section and actually, oh, sorry, I should show you how I'm doing that. So I'm not just assuming that you know. So if I just tap and hold on my screen on an iPhone or one of the widgets or one of the apps, I get this option to say edit stack, edit weather, or edit home screen. I'm going to tap edit home screen, and then I tap on the plus in the top left hand corner, and this brings up my widget editor, and I can scroll down and it'll show me some examples, but I'm going to go down and find the stats app. It's alphabetical. I could just search, but I should be able to find it pretty quickly. He says confidently. There we go. Here's the stats app. And so here are the single widgets that you can do. So there's a single widget, the info it gives you. There is a horizontal widget, a landscape widget for lack of a better term. Then you can see software versions, which again, I really don't care about. You can see a really big widget of software versions. And then you've also got a solar widget, which is actually the one that I've got set up in here. So if I just say done and then go down and show you, there is the main widget, and this is handy. So you could have this, just sitting on your first window of your iPhone, and then you can easily just turn on the aircon. Actually, I turn off the aircon because I think it was on, so I've just turned that off. And then you can also see your solar information, and I think on the fancier iPhones, yes, I'm pretty sure that counter at the top there is the charging of my car. That is cool. So it uses the island on iPhone 14 and iPhone 15 pretty cleverly. I actually get to the second with countdown. I don't know if you've seen that in the recording. If not, I'll find some way to show it to you. That is cool. I've never noticed that before. Now, getting back into the app and talking about the value of the app and if I think it's worth either subscribing for, $70-something per year or just buying it outright for $180. Now, me, I would just buy it outright because I'm not a fan of the whole subscription thing if I can help it. For me, all the information, all the data that you get in this, and all the widgets are cool. The phone app is cool. The proximity thing alone is useful, and it works well enough that it is actually useful. Like if it worked 2 out of 5 times, it's not that useful, but 4 out of 5 times, I'm happy with that. So yeah, I think I am actually gonna fork out the 180 bucks to buy it, because yeah. So for me, it's worth it. Up to you to decide if you think it's worth it. If you want to give it a try, I definitely recommend. I'll put a link somewhere below so that you can get the app and download the app. I'm not sure if it's available for Android as well. I probably should have checked that before I was recording. I'll probably put some titles down here to say whether it is or it isn't. So apologies for that. And yes, so you can try it for 7 days. So I think you got nothing to lose. Give it a go. Try it for 7 days. I actually just thought of, the one thing that I wasn't that thrilled about is the tracking of the journeys. The fact that it only works with your phone. I suppose my wife could just install the app on her phone as well, because we share apps. We've got a family account with Apple, so we can download each other's apps. So yeah, I suppose she could download the app as well and have it on her phone. And we're the only two who drive the car, so that solves that problem. So that was the Stats app for iOS. Again, I'll put a link down below. If you have found that video informative, if you have found it helpful, if you found it useful, please like and subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving. Okay, take two. Now, do I want to show... Oh, I've got so much to do today. I don't have time to... Nah, I showed it in the thing. It's fine.